Some great love, great memories of Uncle. In whose honor we are gathered here today. It really cannot be complete without remembering that once he was elected chairman of KANU and I was elected the secretary. And that was in 1985. Now, by the time we were getting to Nairobi, Titus Mbadi was organizing secretary. And by the time we were getting to Nairobi, there were so many questions that were being asked that as a secretary and a young parliamentarian, I found them both intriguing and difficult to deal with. So for the first time, and I've never had that experience, since then, I had to disconnect my telephone. People simply had such tremendous respect of Kitili Mwendwa that had Kitili lived, I just want us to invite that question for a moment. What would he be today? I therefore have come to honor and remember one of the most brilliant sons of this country, without a doubt. And even as a lawyer and as an advocate of the High Court, I can tell you that Kitili was in a class of his own. And for the short time I had occasion to relate with him in this home, first of all, he took a fancy of me coming from the end of the world, the end of this county. Congratulations, truly, because you deserve to be congratulated for the way you have stood so strongly, so strong in protection of those values for which Kitili was world renowned. I therefore wanted just to reflect a little bit of who Kitili was. I can say without any hesitation that politically he was my mentor. I recall one evening under moonlight, and when it is night in this part of the world, Uhuru, and the stars are out there, you really appreciate the beauty of this countryside. And we are out there. Kitili had a liking for little hills and hills that didn't look very useful to the rest of us. So he had acquired some little hills in a place called Ngaindethia. Now that literally means God help me. Before you get to Inyu and on to Mutitu. And under moonlight, Kitili took me through the political landscape of this country. I'd just been elected slightly ahead of him to parliament as member for Mwingi North. Now Mwingi North actually started from Kabati. And Mwingi North meant that Mheshimiwa David Musila was I was actually his MP about the time when I was doing the governorship. For him it started a long time. And it was a huge constituency. And the day I was elected member of parliament, on the 10th of April in 1985, and therefore I want to say that under that moonlight, the late Kitili was able to tell me what to expect in politics and who to befriend. And believe you me, I never looked back. And when Kitili then died, suddenly, I could not believe what was going on in the world. Because you will recall that the member for Kitui North that time, the late Philip Manandu, had also died. And for him, he was killed by a gunman, a police officer.